Hello everybody and welcome to Eddzshed. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Reaper, which is the new specialization for the necromancer in Guild Wars 2. So the Reaper changes quite a few things about the way that this is going to, or that you're going to be playing it. Everything is going to be about you getting really stuck in. You're going to be wanting to get very close to the enemies, and you're basically going to be wanting to be surrounded all of the time. Sounds daft, but the more enemies around you, the more powerful this is, or the more powerful you will be if you're playing a necromancer. The flip side of this is it does mean that in sort of PvP, this probably hasn't actually improved the necromancer. Then again, they're pretty good in PvP from what I've seen anyway. Dungeons, however, you're still probably going to have a bit of a problem with people moaning that you're not able to do enough DPS. It'll be fine if it's a dungeon with lots and lots of mobs. In a lot of ways, one of the skills has pushed the necromancer towards the old sort of flesh shield type mechanics from Guild Wars 1, but we're still not there, so I feel like it's going to take a bit of changing before necromancers are really seen as being a very necessary piece for sort of running dungeons, which is a disappointment because I do think that the Reaper certainly is incredibly cool. The animations and the abilities that you've got are just stunning. They're really, really smart, they are. So let's take a look at them. Obviously, we've got the Greatsword as the new weapon. There isn't a huge amount to say about this. The abilities are pretty straightforward. It's just your standard stuff to pull enemies closer to you and stuff to do damage once they're close to you. So I'm not going to spend any time going over any of the individual skills. You can look at them yourself at a later point. Something that they've also changed is you no longer turn into Death Shroud when you hit your F1 ability. You will instead get a Reaper Shroud, which will turn you into a great big horrible Reaper with a scythe. And this is like Death Shroud, except all of your abilities are going to be based around being very close up to people. You're going to have sort of renders, cleaves, terrifies, and things like that. Stuff that's going to put poisons around you, stuff that's going to do a lot of damage for things around you, and it's really cool. It still functions in the same way with respect to your health. Your health is drawn from your life force that you've managed to store in your ability, but it's all melee based now. You can take a bit more of a look into the individual skills there. Very nice. Now, the utility skills that we've been given for the necromancer, these are the ones that really quite change how you're going to be playing this. Are going to make you want to be very close to all of your enemies and have lots of enemies around you. You've got they're all shouts there. You've got nothing can save you, rise, suffer, and you're all weaklings. Now, the nothing can save you, the suffer, and you're all weaklings, they're just going to do damage to any enemies standing around you, so obviously you want enemies around you for that. But the real utility skill that changes things quite a bit is, or for me, I feel, is the rise. And this, for every enemy around you, will create a jagged horror. So, obviously, if you're surrounded by lots and lots of mobs and you cast this, you're going to get a small army of jagged horrors. Obviously, they're pretty easy to kill, but in sufficient quantities, they're going to do a lot of damage. Their health appears to deplete, certainly when I was playing over time, so you can't have just a great big flesh shield. But who knows, maybe if perhaps you've got guardians around you, or elementalists around you that can actually be doing healing, you can actually keep the jagged horrors alive for longer. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but it's something that will certainly be interesting to see what we're able to do with that. I didn't have enough time to really experiment with them over the weekend. I haven't had a huge amount of time to be playing it. The next elite ability that you've got is called Chill to the Bone. This is once again a shout, and this will freeze all the enemies around you and grant boons for each foe that you freeze. So once again, it's all based upon having plenty of enemies around you for you to be at your most efficient as a necromancer. And that feels about right, given the sort of life pool that a necromancer's got. However, as I said, I don't feel that this has gone any way in addressing the problems that necromancers have got when it comes to finding parties in dungeons, because the greatsword abilities don't do enough damage to really change this into a sort of a DPS class. The shouts haven't really given you any utility skills, any support skills, and you can probably tank a bit better, actually. I know that tanking isn't really a huge factor in Guild Wars, but you can certainly soak up a lot more damage, and all the enemies around you, you'll be able to do plenty of damage too. So I'll wait to see what other builds people are able to come up with, but I personally don't feel that this has gone any way to address the problems that the necromancers have got in the sort of meta game. So that's my feelings on it. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you around.